Yo, here we are. So I wanted to make a long form video on this. So it is unofficially 1 year on YouTube today, which is pretty cool. I mean, like, it's not officially my 1 year on YouTube, and what I'm saying is like I didn't start uploading videos until September, which my first video, because of course, and really wish I would have checked the dates before uploading this. It was uploaded on September 11th, 2022. So, I know. I don't think I'm gonna celebrate on the 11th. I don't really I don't want to celebrate on that day. Like, I just don't want to. Some really bad stuff happened on September 11th. I'm not even going to talk about it. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to make a long form video. It's all going to be unedited. I don't really have a good editing software right now. So just kind of all unedited, just saying how crazy this 1 year ride has been so far, cuz I've moved probably around 8 times. No, that's a lie. I probably moved around like 6 times since starting this channel, which is just ridiculous. The first video I actually uploaded was when I was in the process of moving to Salem, Massachusetts. I don't care about naming that because I don't live there anymore, and you guys couldn't find me up there. So we had just moved there, and it was really stressful. I remember our apartment. I think our we moved there. I don't remember exactly what happened, but what I think happened is that we had an apartment all set up, and then they just canceled. So we were stuck in Salem, just in hotel rooms without a house, and the hotel people canceled, or the apartment people canceled. My bad, sorry. And so I remember uploading that first video. It was a cool guitar tuning video that I thought was unique, and yeah, it was actually really cool. I remember one guy who has a pretty good amount of subscribers commented on that video. I have a lot of videos that I've actually deleted. So now that I think about that, I don't know when my first true video was uploaded. I think it was that video though. I could be wrong, but I'm not sure. So, I guess with that being said, I think I'll either celebrate my true 1 year anniversary on September either 10th or 12th. Because I'm sorry, I'm not celebrating on the 11th. Screw that. And so maybe I'll celebrate on the Saturday that follows. Because then I can have everybody in the stream and everything like that. And, you know. But it has been a crazy ride. When, so, I'm not 18. I'm not going to state what age I am, but I'm still living with my parents. I guess I should say my mom. And we moved out to Salem, and it was really, really intense out there. I remember my mom, she got a job at a bookstore at a university. I don't remember what university it was, but I remember that. And I everything at first was good. So my mom got that job. I got into Salem High. It was all good. And I still remember my first day at Salem High. 'Cause that was an interesting day. I remember walking in there and getting everything set up and getting told where all my classes were and having to go scrounge around the school trying to figure out where everything was. I remember I had this little this like folder thing that had, I wonder if I still got those drawings, but I um I had this big folder. Well, it wasn't really big. It was this white folder, probably about that big, that tall. Hopefully, you guys can see that. And I remember it had little slips on each side, so you could put like a paper or something in. I remember I put that because they gave me this little sheet that told me where all my classes were. So I remember I put that in there. And I used to literally just be walking around the school, like just looking at this, like, where in the world are my classes? They did have it set up really good though, so it never did get really confusing. The only class that got really confusing was there was this one class that I took. Um, I also don't remember what it was called, but basically every week we would switch to a different class to see. It was for like freshmen and everything like that, and so they could see like what they wanted to do and all that. And so every single week we'd change classes. So like for example, one week it'd be biology, then the next week it'd be automotive, or just something like that. It was just all the elective classes that we'd go through, and then in the middle of the year we would choose what class we wanted. I really don't remember what it was called, but I remember one time I had to go to culinary. Basically, the way that the school was set up is you had your main school right here, which was like it was set up so it was kind of like a big square, but the middle, like there was just this weird open space that nobody ever used. It was really weird. I don't know if you guys know this map, but it's called Verrückt from Call of Duty Zombies. The middle of the school was literally set up the exact same way, just bigger and stuff. The building was the same, but then there was this weird other part where all like the art classes, like the shop classes, all of that stuff was in, and then so the school was right here, and then this weird other part of the school was right here, and it made no sense because the other part of the school wasn't, it wasn't designed like the other part of the school was. It didn't really make sense why they didn't just continue building out, like just kept the design going. And that part of the school, oh my god, trying to go, it was just like it had so many hallways and just so many little turns and like rooms that was so confusing to get around. And I just remember trying to figure out where culinary was because it was on like, it was on the top floor of that. And yeah, I was on the top floor, and it was just set up so weirdly. I don't even know how to describe it. I'd have to give you guys like a building schematic or something. But I just remember searching all through hell, and then finally I get there. And yeah, that was stressful. I had a lot of really stressful moments in Salem. My mom, with her work, well, I guess I should say this first. So, firstly, I lived about maybe like a mile, yeah, a mile or two away from my school, or at least the walk home was like a mile or two. I think it was like 1.5 miles. And so usually I would just go walk to my mom's work because it was literally right. It was right in the middle. It was literally right in the middle of our house and the school. So after I got home from school, well, after I got out of school, I just usually went there a lot. But then my mom, like the company was being really weird. Like they wouldn't give anybody hours because they couldn't afford it, and there was three people on the shift, like on shift. It was just these three same people. Nobody else would work. They had like they had a lot of employees too. They had like 10 employees, but they only kept three on every single day because they couldn't afford it. and they had this ginormous amount of stuff that they wanted, like, just these three people to do, and it got so hard for my mom, and it just all like, yeah, she had to quit that, and then she went to Starbucks. And when I tell you that Starbucks, you should not work unless you want to have mental breakdowns daily. Don't work at Starbucks. Like, seeing my mom go through Starbucks was definitely, I it was probably the second or the third worst thing that I've seen her go through. And she would work, so I guess I should also elaborate on this. So before she did get Starbucks, she did get another job working at a bar, which was, it was most of the nights of the week, and she'd be coming home at like 12. And I think she also worked on Saturdays too. And so she'd be gone on Saturday at the bar. And so some nights, like, she would just come home at like 12, and that got really hard. And so when my mom the got the job at Starbucks, she had to wake up at 3 in the morning just to go open, and then she would like get off at like 1, and then she'd have until like 5 or 6 to go to the bar and then come home at 12. And oh, that was one of the worst times of my life. Just, we were all so fucking stressed out. And that's one thing why why I kind of cracked down on YouTube. Well, I guess I didn't really crack down, but it's another reason why I started it, is it was just something to get my mind off of everything. Just dealing with all the bullshit day to day, just dealing with school. It's another reason why I picked up the bass too. The bass has definitely been one of my key helpers for depression and all that. I really started playing bass in Salem. I remember for Christmas, my mom promised me to go to Guitar Center and for me to pick out a new bass. So my mom took me there early because she's super nice, and I picked out this great red and black bass. It was a Squire. I was so excited. And I remember we went up to them, and they told me that they had um, this thing where if stuff was like, for all used gear, it had to stay in the store for like 2 weeks so they could make sure that it wasn't stolen. And you want to know what? It had that because it was used. And so I had to wait another week to get my hands on the bass that I'd already been so excited to get. But finally, I got it. I got this thing. This is definitely a thing that helped me survive. Yeah, this thing probably event prevented many suicide attempts, or probably prevented many suicidal thoughts, I should say. Not attempts. I've never attempted suicide. And so, yeah, that was another funny thing. But yeah, I remember it got so stressful, and in Salem, we had like we literally had me, my mom, and my sister and my sister's boyfriend all working there, and we were having a really hard time paying rent. It was almost like $3,000 a month there. Like, it was ridiculous. And so it all just blew up, and it all crumbled down. And oh, I remember one morning my mom was just crying all day, and I just remember she brought me in her room. She just didn't know what to do, and it turned out that we had to move back to the state where I came from. And that was one of the worst days of my life. Definitely not. It wasn't the worst, but it was a pretty awful day. So I remember we had to move back. It was really awkward. And I remember we moved in with my aunt. My aunt, she's a little cuckoo. She's nice, but she is intense as hell. She's a lesbian and she lives in this really nice house, but she's the type of person who wants literally everything spick and span all the time. And so I remember one morning I went to go make myself a cup of coffee. They had an espresso machine because they were rich as hell. And I remember I so they had this big pot of all the pods that was for the espresso machine. And so they were just laying out, you know, they're just put on the counter. And I just made myself a cup of coffee and moved on. And then my aunt, so I guess another thing I should say is, excuse me, I had my gaming setup out in the garage because they were also really intense about noise at night. So yeah, I had my gaming setup in the garage. I remember she just comes running in like, "You respect this house. You keep it clean." I'm like, "What did I do?" And then she like yelled at me about just having the coffee pods out and like it was ridiculous because I saw them there. I just opened it up, took the thing out, made myself a cup of espresso. That was it. Put it right back where I saw it. And like so it was that type of stress and shit that I was going through, like not every day, but there was a good amount of days that were just stressful. And I don't remember when I hit 100 subscribers. I remember in Salem I hit 50 subscribers and that was a really big milestone. I remember I don't remember where I was. I think I was in class and I saw it and I got so excited. And yeah, because I had the upgrading one gun for 69 days and that blew up. And that was really cool. And yeah, but my aunt's house, it got way too stressful and like it got intense and we just had another moment of we got to get the fuck out of here. We had that when we moved to Salem because it was getting way too stressful where I live. The house prices where I live are ridiculous. So jacked up as it is basically everywhere. I guess I'm not special. But yeah, so we tried to move somewhere where it wasn't house prices weren't super bad, but Salem turns out that they're even worse than where I live. And so, yeah. But, in Utah, we couldn't find anywhere, and we were just getting so tired of it. We have some cousins who live in Montana, and they're kind of batshit crazy too. I'm not gonna lie. And so they needed help because they were about to have another child, and they us or I for this story I'll call him Nate. I will call Nate and I'll call his wife. How about I don't know. Nate and Beth, how about that? So Nate worked at a bar a lot. Well, yeah, that's what he did. And his wife, I already forgot what I named her. I'm just gonna I'll call her his wife. She was a stay-at-home mom because they had a kid who I will call Arthur. And yeah, and they live basically in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. Like it was a small town. Like, it was so small. The only place that you could really go for groceries had groceries. It was like 10 it was like what? It was like $10 for a milk jug or something like that. The prices there were jacked up. And then they also had a gas station. That was like it if you wanted to get snacks. And so that was really annoying. And I remember there. So Nate's wife is kind of crazy. I'm pretty sure that she has some mental illness or something. Cause my God. Um, I remember she asked my mom if they could, if me and her could completely renovate her bathroom. Keep in mind that we were only planning on staying there for, I don't know, it wasn't that long. They wanted us to they wanted us to put like a bathroom downstairs. They had a basement, like in the basement. They wanted us to help them out with the entire basement project and like doing all this housework, and I'm like, it was like we already were doing this other stuff to help out, like, you know. And so I remember that. And so there was three men using that bathroom. All right, well, I guess I should say two men and a toddler using that bathroom. I don't know why, but there's always just water on the floor. I have no idea why. And I remember Bambi used shit. Shit. I don't want to have to do that all over again. Shit. I should have said that. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? I remember um she won't find out about this. I don't care. She had she flipped out a lot because she thought that I was peeing on the floor when, like, come on, there's a toddler using that bathroom. Like, even after she told me, I would make sure, I would double check, like, oh, yeah, no, there's no pee on the floor. Like, yeah, sometimes it happens, like, guys, you know, you women, I shouldn't say that. Sorry. Women probably don't know about this, but, being a guy, yeah, you have your meat. I guess that's how I'm gonna put it. It's hard because whatever you go, it just goes a random direction sometimes. There's nothing we can do about it. It's like, so sometimes it happens, just a little miss. It's whatever. When I tell you, so it was my birthday up there, April 14th. I woke up and she went to the bathroom and she screamed at the top of her lungs up the stairs, "I am so tired of every morning ruining a new pair of socks." And I'm like, I like, it got so intense there. And so I was dealing with this bitch who was yelling at me and my mom every day about something that I wasn't doing. And then all that. Bambi was the main problem. Probably shouldn't say that. Nate Nate wasn't. Nate's chill. We have our stuff, but yeah. I remember that after that my mom just said fuck this, and we moved back to Utah, and I moved in with my grandparents, and living with them was alright. Nothing really crazy happened. Pretty it was pretty uneventful. Me and my cat Bagheera were just living there. And I do have a few funny stories from there though. I remember one night. So I'm a big guy. You guys probably don't know this, but I am 6'4" and a half. I'm not even joking. I went to the doctor yesterday and I got measured, and it turns out I'm 6'4" and a half. And so, shoot, what was I saying? Oh, right. Sorry, very sorry. So usually I clog the toilet a lot. I'm a big dude. What can I say? Like you guys can picture you can put the pieces together on the rest of that. And so I remember I clogged the toilet. And I was trying to get it down so bad, and it was like 2 in the morning, and I have no idea where they keep their plunger. They kept it in the laundry room. Who the heck puts a plunger in a laundry room? Keep it in the bathroom. Like, what? And so I remember it was just flooding and uh, like like the toilet, it got water all over, and just in a panic, I put down like the towels. I was swearing. I was just so like, ah. And my grandma comes running down the stairs. My grandma is a very big Mormon. She is actually a part of the LDS. She can go into the LDS church. She is a big Mormon. And she comes running downstairs like, "What are you swearing about? You're cursing up a storm down here." And that was kind of funny. But yeah, then after that, um moved in I'm in to my current situation. I moved to my current situation, which I'm living with my other grandparents because my mom missed not having me there. So my mom moved in with my other grandparents, and the cat stayed with me because my other grandparents, they're out on vacation right now. There's a whole lot of people who live in here, so yeah, I'm sorry if you hear any noises during. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. So yeah, I'm sorry if you hear any noises during the videos or whatever. But yeah, and so I moved over here, and it's been pretty nice. I mean, like even if I did want to talk about some stuff, I wouldn't because other people are in the house. Put the rest together. And so, yeah, I guess now I could go with how YouTube has changed everything. Because I thought I'd just tell you guys kind of my story and everything that I've been through during this whole YouTube thing. And thank you guys for listening to this. YouTube, I don't do YouTube for views or money or anything like that. I do it because I have fun with it. I think content creation is so much fun, and I get so much enjoyment doing it. I love seeing you guys comment on my videos and like critiquing everything and like giving me advice. It's awesome. And I seriously feel so grateful for the subscriber base that I got. I never thought I was gonna make it that far. I thought maybe at the most I'd get like 20 subscribers or something, but no, we've already got 200, and that is just crazy. I know in the whole grand scheme of thing, 200 is nothing, but I don't care. I'm sorry. I worked hard for this. And it's been so fun just doing all this. And I don't want really anything crazy. I mean, if it does turn into my job, then it turns into my job. And that would be actually great. Because I love content creation. I think it's fun, you know? And so, yeah, I guess I'll go over some stuff I've done. So, the first series I ever did on my YouTube channel was upgrading one gun for 69 days. That was fun. That did get really stressful sometimes. So that's another thing with the upgrading one gun for 69 days. Sometimes I literally just couldn't upload. Sometimes I was just in weird areas like up in Montana that had the worst reception known to man. And so I couldn't upload videos that much. And or other times I would just be moving, you know, moving from one place to the other. It's like I couldn't promise videos. And so that was one thing that got kind of stressful, was trying to work out, trying to do 69 days in a row is hard, man. Like I remember on day 6, I struggled. day 6 was actually upgrading one gun, or day 6 of upgrading one gun for 69 days is currently, I think currently, my most popular video, which is pretty cool. And yeah, that's sitting at 2.2K views right now. And I remember I posted it because I fell asleep the night before because I was so tired from school. School drained me out, man. And I woke up and I just woke up. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to upload that video. And so in the comment section, I put like a little sorry, I'm so sorry, I forgot to upload this last night. I'm so sorry it's late. And then it just jumped. I remember I was sitting there, I was talking with one of my friends from orchestra, and I just checked my phone, and boom, it was at 1,000 views in like 40, like 30, 40 minutes. And I was just like, whoa. And I remember at the end of the day, it jumped to 2K views, and oh, that blew my socks off. That was pretty cool. Seeing your videos do well is probably one of the most satisfying feelings I think you can ever feel. It's like, yeah, again, 2,000 views in the whole grand scheme of YouTube. It's really not much, but I don't care. I have fun making these videos, man. Like, you know, I am I'm really grateful for all this, and I just try not to keep my expectations too high. I just do this for fun, seriously. With anything that you do, music, content creation, if you don't keep your expectations high, you're going to have more fun, and you're probably going to make have more viewers come to you. If you go in, that's why I don't say like, "Oh, please like and subscribe. Like, subscribe right now." I'm like, I don't care. It That's your guys' decision. I mean, yeah, I'd love it if you guys subscribe, but I don't know. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. And so it's like, if you, excuse me. So like, if you guys don't subscribe or like, I don't care. Like, I don't mean to say that in a rude way, but I'm like, okay, do whatever you want. Like, and again, I'm not saying that in a rude way. It's like, just I don't care. That's your decision. It's not mine. And so yeah, and I don't really stream that often, but these streams I have been doing lately have seriously been so much fun. Streaming Fallout 4 and doing all that. I feel really lucky with the Fallout 4 streams. Is I get for streaming, at least for a small streamer, I get a lot of views on my streams, and that feels pretty cool. Um it's funny. So I have this friend named Platt. I've mentioned him. We're actually really close friends in real life. We have been friends for 5 years now. Yeah, yeah, almost 5 years. I'm gonna say 5 years though. And so yeah, we've almost been friends for 5 years now. And he's been doing YouTubes for 4 years now since me and him went into fifth grade. And um I just started a year ago, and he only has like 177 subscribers or something like that. I just passed him in subscribers. I passed him in views a very long time ago. And he always asks me, like, how do you do it? And I'm like, shorts, man. That's another thing with YouTube. Shorts will get you there. That's one thing about YouTube that shorts, it's like, yeah, I know they're getting into TikTok territory, but think about it. Making YouTube videos when you like just normal long form videos, that is probably the hardest form of content creation you can do because everybody, at least nowadays, their brains are fried. I know I'm not going to get that many views on this long form video, and that's fine. I went into this knowing that. It's like, yeah, people watch so much TikTok that their brains are basically fried, and kids nowadays only have an attention span of 5 seconds. And so it's like, and plus, there are all these videos on YouTube. There's billions upon billions upon trillions of videos on YouTube. And so it's like you don't have that much of a chance of getting your videos put out there. And so that's what I like about shorts. Sorry, I'm having some really bad stomach issues right now. um so with shorts, I don't love shorts all the way, but something they do that is really awesome. Think of how many shorts creators there are and how many people it brought to the platform and made them want to do content like, you know, I think Johnny Razor, Johnny Razor, whatever, like just a whole lot of channels, you know, they just it brought them here, and plus, you know, it helps smaller people get out there, you know, like I don't know, kids or something like that. You know, a child making a long form video on YouTube is not going to get probably any views. And I hate to say that. I hate to say that. But when you put that on shorts, you're destined to get more views than a long form video. And it's because, you know, you're scrolling through, you know, you're scrolling through your phone. You have a lot more of a higher chance of somebody clicking on, or of you clicking on or going to somebody's video, because it's all just right there. And you know, even a scroll past, I'm pretty sure that still counts as a view. And so it's like it just helps out because now so many creators like me can use that to get a platform so that I can make long, so that, like, you know, I'm using myself as an example, so I can make longer videos like this so I actually get views on these longer videos. And so yeah, content creation has been really cool, and it's helped me out a lot. I will admit there have been some times where it's been stressful, and I just, yeah. But something that's really nice is, you know, whenever I'm having a hard day or just something like that, I can just be someone else. I can throw on the ghost mask and just be a different person, you know? And it in some ways it's been really helpful. And so I thank you guys. And there's been a lot of stuff with YouTube that's been a lot of fun, which I've said a million times now. Like upgrading one day, like upgrading one gun for 69 days, the Fallout 4 streams, just any kind of content. I post a lot of like base covers, and those are pretty fun too. So I should probably end this video. It's getting really long, but I just kind of wanted to tell you guys about my experience for 1 year of being on the platform. I've watched YouTube my entire life, don't get that wrong, but this is the first time I've actually been able to have an account on YouTube. My mom would never let me have an account on YouTube, so that's why. I did once actually, but it just didn't want to work, and I could never upload videos. Which I am actually very glad about, because God, I would have uploaded the most cringy content when I, honestly, to tell you the truth, when I look back on this in like 10, 20 years, whatever, I'm probably gonna die inside just thinking about it. Like in 30 years or 10 years, 20 years, I'm gonna look back and like, oh my God, I fucking put a ghost mask on and with a balaclava and talk to a camera. Oh my God. That's probably what I'm gonna be thinking. And if I'm watching this in the future, hi. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. God, if you survived it all the way through this video, you are a Giga Chad, man. Like, like I said, man, people nowadays have the shortest attention spans, and being able to tank through what it looks like to be almost a 40-minute long video is just like, you guys are crazy, and I love you guys, and I don't mean that weirdly. I gotta say that because, you know, some people might just put timestamps and be like, hey, yo! And so, yeah, interacting with you guys, like the Lego guns I put out. I actually wanted to put out Lego guns for a long time, but I never did it because I thought that people were gonna judge me, and I thought that people were gonna be like, "Oh, school shooter," and just stuff like that you see on all those people's videos that make Lego guns. By the way, if you see a kid or something like that posting like Lego guns stuff, don't write that in the comments. Like, out of all people, do that to me, not the kids. Like, I don't understand the people who do that. That's fucked up in my opinion. But yeah, seriously, with all the I haven't had a negative comment in a long time. It's been like a month or two now. And just that I have a really good community. So thank you guys so much for just all this. So far, it's been a really fun ride with YouTube. The back stuff wasn't fun at all. My life wasn't fun at all. But YouTube was a lot of fun. So I'm gonna end this video. It's getting way too long. It's probably gonna take like 3 hours to upload to YouTube. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I shall see you later. Seriously, thank you guys so much. Have an amazing night.